Hi, I'm Adam and I'll be giving you some tutorials on some new educational tools to do with technology and how you can incorporate them into your classroom. The first activity I'd like to show you is the Smartboard. Great resource for education. I'm going to just show you a quick example of what it is. It's basically a board where your finger is your mouse. Now this is a Smartboard. There are others called Promethean boards. There are several boards in the market. I really like the Smartboard because you use your finger, some you use a pen. But for this one, basically I'll show you an example. We have an open page, a blank document. I drew in a graph in a function x squared plus 1, and since I'm a math teacher, I also put in a graph. Now you may want your students to graph that, maybe plot some points. You could always write something in if you want to write at the last minute. As we see, we have a pointer tool right here. If we want to draw a little bar graph here, put X, Y, they could easily plot some points on a piece of paper out there. But it's basically just like having an interactive chalkboard. You could also have students come up to the board and make their own graphs or functions, anything like that. So anyways, you give them a function, for instance, and you give them the graph, and then they're drawing on the paper, and then you already have your pre-made graphs done. You have a little toolbar right here where you can just pull up quick stuff. And right here I have some points plotted, so they might have points plotted. I'll say, okay, are we along here? Are we at this point in the problem? And then you can move on even further and say, look, I already have the graph drawn. It saves you a little bit of time as a teacher, and you can prepare yourself a little bit better in coming into a classroom. Okay, first thing you want to do when you open up the Smartboard is you're going to want to orient it, and this is going to help you along the rest of the way. Basically, you have a crossbar here. You want to click, 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 right in the middle. This will make sure that when you actually do touch the Smartboard, that where you press is actually where you press on the screen. The one thing about the Smartboard is it will take a little bit to get used to. When I first used it, it was tough. I was all over the screen. You have to prepare for it with a little bit. You have to practice with it a little bit. Also, they have a lot of other tools on this Smartboard, and I'll show you a little bit. We have a gallery right here, a lot of mathematical functions. Since we're working on parabolic functions, I'll bring in this parabolic thing, this little application. Very nice application. You can even set your A, your B, your C, and you can even move the graph around to look. So let's see, another thing we can do is we have interactive multimedia. Maybe you want to show a bar graph. This can be used as any kind of instructional tool. You have January through December here, and you can change this anyway. I've shown you a lot of graphs, but graphs aren't the only thing we can do here. If you're doing a project on currency, maybe for younger grades, they have pictures of dimes, nickels, pull them right out, just like that. Obviously, a lot of selection. They even have Canadian nickels on here, which I didn't even see before. Dollar bills, I'm sure, toward the bottom here. And it's not all American notes here either. Also, for maybe lines, we have metric rulers you can use. Also have triangular type rulers. And there's also even a protractor on there. So say maybe you did have that graph back up there. You're doing something on angles. Easy protractor. And you can rotate these things too. I'll show you. There's a simple rotation. Rotate the graph, rotate your rulers, rotate your protractor. Makes it a lot easier. It's very interactive, very easy to use. So there you have it, the Smartboard. Great educational resource. I recommend you have it in your classroom. Hey, can you stop right there for a second?
Yes.
How do you feel about technology in education?
Well, technology in education, it's definitely something that's growing constantly.
Is it important?
It is important. I mean, I think it's an easy way to speak to the kids of today who are going to grow up with better technology and they want to be interactive and things like that. So it's a good way to keep the classroom interesting.